how does a beautiful and brilliant young mom end up bludgeoned dead, dragged in the basement for her final hours, languishing there for days on end before anybody figures out Mommy's missing? Mommy's not just missing, Mommy is dead. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. I wish you could see this woman. She's just joining me, an all-star panel to break it down and put it back together again. First of all, Bob Kalinowski, reporter with the Citizens Voice in Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County, there in Pennsylvania. And you can find him at Bob_Cal or Twitter at CVBOB Cal. You know, that's really interesting. And Bob Kalinowski, I'll be with you in just 1 second. Joining me right now from the Citizens Voice in Wilkes-Barre, is it Wilkes-Barre or Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County, Pennsylvania? Bob Kalinowski. Bob, thank you for being with us. First, how do you say that?
Well, there's a lot of debate about that, but some of our historical experts here say Wilkes-Barre like strawberry.
You know what? I've reported on cases in that jurisdiction before, and I have this conversation often, and I think you're right. I'm going to go with Barry as a strawberry, Wilkes-Barre. So, Bob Kalinowski, thank you for taking time away from Citizens Voice to be with us. Let's start at the beginning. It's hard for me to imagine this mom bludgeoned dead and lying in the basement for days on end before anybody figures out, wow, Mary Susan Barrett's missing, haven't seen her. Let's start at the beginning. What happened as it unfolds, Bob?
So on January 11th of this year, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Mary Barrett's husband makes a surprise visit to the Plymouth Borough Police Station and very quickly tells the on-duty officer that he killed his wife, she's dead at home, and he did it because she, according to him, was cheating on her.
With me, what an all-star panel. Dr. Debbie Joffe-Ellis, Karen Smith, Dr. Tim Gallagher, Jason Campo, Bob Kalinowski. You know, to Bob Kalinowski, reporter with the Citizens Voice in Wilkes-Barre, there in Pennsylvania, where was the daughter as far as geographically when the mom was murdered?
The daughter was in, I believe, in a town about 20-25 minutes away at her father's house, so it's about 20-25 minutes away in a more rural area than where Mary lived.
Went to police and confessed that he killed his wife. Straight out to investigative reporter Bob Kalinowski with the Citizens Voice in Wilkes-Barre. Bob Kalinowski, that's something you don't normally see. For someone to waltz into the police station and announce they killed their wife.
Oh, yeah. Every veteran detective I've talked to said it's very extremely rare, and it doesn't happen. It obviously wasn't a huge surprise to the Plymouth Borough Police Station, where the man just walked in and said he killed his wife. She's dead in the basement at home.
He punched her and knocked her to the ground near the fireplace in the home. Then Barrett told police he blacked out. When he came to, he was holding fireplace tongs over his head and was beating her with them. Barrett said he continued to beat her with those tongs and a fire poker before getting a knife and stabbing her in the back. Then he dragged her body into the basement.
Blacked out? Wow, that was convenient. That he remembers accusing her of cheating and punching her in the face. Then he blacks out and wakes up with a weapon raised over his head. But after he comes to, he continues beating her until she's dead, dragging her down to the basement to die or post-mortem. Blacked out at the moment of truth. Bob Kalinowski, Citizens Voice, Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County. Bob, is that correct? Does he conveniently black out at the moment of the killing and then come to?
That's what he told investigators, that he blacked out. Now, I don't know if he's already started trying to make his defense for trial, including using the the alleged cheating excuse as well. I don't know if he immediately started planning his defense at trial, but that's what he said, blacked out. But then he confesses to continuing the assault afterwards to finish the job.
Yeah, the blackout defense is not going to really work if once you come to, you continue the murder. So speaking of, to Bob Kalinowski, reporter Citizen's Voice in Wilkes-Barre, Bob, what's next?
Well, Nancy, first of all, I do want to say one thing about the affair issue, and I made a bunch of phone calls the last couple of days because I wanted to put my credibility on the line. And I asked a lot of people who know her intimately and know this case intimately, and people that worked with her in the community and all the community things she did and all the organizations she was with about a possible affair. And everyone has told me that's not her, and there's no evidence of an affair.
Bob, if I could reach through this camera and hug you and kiss you right now, I would. Because I just hate, isn't enough the woman is dead and her daughter's going to live a life without her mother? Do we have to have her dragged through the mud too?
Well, I appreciate that, but I think she deserved that. When you do crime stories, you often get, and as a prosecutor, Angela probably would agree, you really a lot of times get to meet these and know these victims only after the crime happens to them and after they die. So, I mean, I got to know Mary Barrett only after she died, and I'm glad I did. And I think it was just she deserved to get her name cleared if her name needed to be cleared. And I put I did some research to the best I could.
Bob, I am so grateful that you told me that. When is this thing going to trial, Bob? What do we know?
Well, I think Angela knows best, but he recently had his preliminary hearing just on Friday. And the preliminary hearing here in Pennsylvania is basically the local court step, the local magistrate step. And he actually waived the hearing. So I don't know if he did it on purpose to save the family any grief, but I know some of the prosecutors and police were thankful that they did not have to go through a preliminary trial before it gets to the county court level. So now it has moved to the county court level, and Angela and her team of prosecutors, are going to prepare the case to see if it does go to trial.
So, Bob Kalinowski, do you guys have the death penalty in Pennsylvania?
We do have the death penalty in Pennsylvania.
Moratorium?
But there is a moratorium, yes. Governor Wolf has a moratorium on it.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you can kill as many people as you want to.
Prosecutors could still pursue it, but it won't be carried out, at least as of now. And I don't know, the district attorney and Angela's team would obviously have to file motions to see if they were going to do that.
I'm intentionally not going to ask her because I know she won't comment. We wait as justice unfolds and prayers to this teen girl, facing life without mommy. Nancy Grace, Crime Stories, signing off. Goodbye.